Hello and welcome back to the final episode of the 2017 sailing season. In this episode, we're going to go downriver to Alexandria Bay and check out Boldt Castle. This is one stunning, stunning place to see. This castle just blew me away with its size and its grandeur. It was a videographer's dream. And if you're into Instagram or Facebook photos, believe me, you'll have no problem capturing some awesome shots. Surprisingly, this is not the only castle in the Thousand Islands, but I think without question, this is the jewel of them all. So stay tuned because all of this beauty is coming up in this episode of Cruising Off Duty. This was the first time I'd ever been to Boldt Castle, and let me just tell you, it blew me away. And then I found out the sad story. George C. Boldt built this back in the early 1900s for his wife, but before it was completed, she died and he discontinued the building, and it was left derelict for decades before the Thousand Island Bridge Authority took over ownership, turned it into a tourist stop, and used all the money to renovate it back to its former glory. It's hard to believe one man could have the kind of wealth that would show this kind of opulence. Just wait to see it. And this is not even their primary residence. This was more like a cottage for them. So be prepared for some seriously beautiful shots of that castle. But we had a 4-hour motor down the St. Lawrence to get there, and that was pretty breathtaking as well. And oh yes, we are motoring again, and that's because this area of the Thousand Islands is very, very narrow and really not suited to sailing.
Just where he was needed, gleaming in black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing, faces merchant change, but your face remains the same. Swallows will be here by dawn. When we're finally sober, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt. A significant life, just what it was needed. Clean in the blackest night, cloistered in injustice dead, and in the eyes of time, nobody is losing. The sparrows will be here by dawn. When we find it's over, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom.
Was just for cosmetic appeal, I guess, or really?
This was meant to be the entrance. You actually,
Oh, okay.
We'll always remember how it felt.
There's a ship going by. Oh yeah. Freighter going by. It's pretty cool they come so close. Yeah, if nothing screams man cave like having a bowling alley. So certainly, you might have called it a children's playhouse, but maybe.
it's been here since we took over the castle. But right here, where you see the unfinished edge,
Yeah.
that should have been a staircase. It should have been the main staircase from
Okay.
up there down to here.
And these were the steps, I guess, the rounded
These are
steps?
parts of the steps.
All right.
And
But it was never finished, or he, or
was
so it's
never
got.
finished. It was
Okay,
one of the
okay.
things the last few projects, and they just dropped it. It's one of the projects I would love to see completed here.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Construction of the castle is all this terracotta tile and masonry, and it's actually got a steel core frame. It's built more like a skyscraper than a castle.
Oh, is that a sweet little...
Sort of.
Something that? It's a spa, a bathhouse.
Wow.
Steps, and it's really deep for them at the time period as a swimming pool. Our maintenance guy tells me this is absolutely what it was for. The original elevator was a hydraulic elevator. The system in the tallest tower, the very top of it, there's a 12,000 gallon water cistern tank.
Okay.
The water pressure from that would have raised the elevator.
Okay.
And then when it went back down, the water would have been piped into the pool
Okay.
and then been pumped back up to the system.
That's pretty advanced for that time, isn't it? Wow.
That's how they did it.
This is the ballroom. This is quite, oh my goodness, yeah, that working. In the ballroom, they had this organ, and then this is where everybody would dance.
This is actually a table that belonged to the Boldt family. It was donated by his daughter, Clover Boldt there. She was the last descendant in the region. This picture here shows it at, I believe, Hopewell Hall where she lived.
It's quite the view.
This is where the sun sets. This is where what I call the Downton Abbey part of the tour.
Alright.
You go from everything out here, which is designed for Boldt and his guests, and to be super impressive. And then you go through this door, and this is the working end of the castle.
Yeah, this is where all the staff are working, eh?
This is the butler's pantry.
Okay.
The butler, just like Downton Abbey, he would have. It's here because anything that came out of that room, which was the kitchen, would have had to have been approved to him by him to make sure everything was plated and looked right before it was out to the dining room to be served to the guests.
Oh my goodness.
Dinner was the entertainment. Their meals were 12, 13 courses long and lasted for hours. This original room, this is just a closet now, but below this was the butler's office. And there would have been a staircase. He was one of the only people who had his own staircase.
To go through this door?
And next to that would have been the wine cellar, the liquor cabinets, and he would have been the only person to access any of that and kept everything inventoried, as well as all the china in place.
So very much like Downton Abbey, because they know how they go downstairs, and that's where everything gets done.
Although George was a little better to his help than most.
Yeah.
I think that's because he started in the industry. He was the help.
Yeah, yeah.
This little piece is a neat thing we found in it's called an annunciator.
Oh, okay. They ring the bell and that.
Right, it flips the arrow and the bell rings and the butler says, "Oh, I gotta go to bedroom number 1." And
Wow.
they didn't have intercoms and phones
Right.
and texting, so this is how they would have gotten the attention. The one that would have been in here probably would have been 3 times the size of that, with 120 rooms in the castle.
This is where the staff would eat.
Well, he actually has 2 rooms for the staff to eat. And we're not real sure why, if he meant it to be segregated girls over here, guys over there. That was uncommon in other houses of the time period. Right. This is the kitchen. This is one of our newest things inside the castle that's been completed. The stove is original 1890s era stove. It's the biggest one we could find. Whether theirs would have been that size or bigger, it's hard to say. The big copper tank next to it is an 1890s era water heater. So the stove would have been running constantly.
Okay.
Because they didn't heat up like we want, like ours does
Yeah,
today. So they
takes
got
a
it
while.
on in the morning, and they kept it on all day and cooked as they needed, and that would have constantly heated the water in the tank, so they would have always had hot water.
It does just scream of Downton Abbey, doesn't it? This just reminds me of although this is actually nicer than what they have, because their kitchen didn't have windows in Downton Abbey.
Exactly. So George was pretty good in this thing.
Yeah, they're actually not underground.
This is what's on the floor plans is a big ice chest. They didn't have refrigeration.
Right.
They would have pulled ice out of the river in the wintertime and stored it all year and used that to keep everything cold. The service dining room.
Oh, okay.
Another, lots of windows.
Yeah.
Very nice. Wow.
Where
You're right. His staff must have loved him.
if you look at the other places, other mansions from this time period, I don't like to know if I should compare us to the Biltmore, if you've ever heard of that place, but it's like the most visited historic home in the country. Their staff quarters is in the basement. There is no
These guys
windows.
got the best windows in view.
Yeah, and you said, isn't that where the sun sets? You said over there?
Yeah.
Oh, over there. Okay.
Sunrise is over here.
Okay. But wow, that's amazing. I'd love to eat in this room.
But the gardens are something we just finished. This is the Dovecote Henry.
Oh.
This is the
So
what?
kept poultry in there?
Dovecote and Henry. It's got two names. We haven't been able to settle on one.
And what was it for?
It's had a long life. I had a mason who worked here tell me this is much older than anything else on the island.
Okay.
But I think this was here from Eliza Hart. It served as the original generator house at one point. But Boldt loved birds. He actually went to Texas to be a chicken farmer before he made his name in Philadelphia. But a flood struck and wiped out his farm.
Oh, okay.
And he came back to Philadelphia.
So you knew what that meant when he said dovecote and whatever.
Yes.
I had no idea what I was talking about. You were like, it's a bird thing. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, see, if you look at
It's a big aviary.
and if you look at the tower when we found it in '77, no roof anymore, and
So that's what it looked like.
this is a photo from the '40s that we used to rebuild it to what it is
So
today.
that's what it looked like in 77, and this is what it looks like in 1940.
And this is the Italian garden. This has been one of the most photographed
This
things
is
we've done
beautiful.
in a long time.
This is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, you must get a lot of wedding / stuff. Do you actually rent out to have weddings done here?
Yep, we actually do weddings right back there in front of the Dovecote.
Okay.
We do on average 60 a year, sometimes more, sometimes less. Right this year, I think I'm going to finish around 64.
Okay.
Next weekend, I've got like 5 on the books.
Yeah. So this area here is probably the most photographed area of your whole. That castle.
And it's got the powerhouse behind it, which is the most photographic thing on the island, as I mentioned. Whenever there's an article about Boldt Castle, most of the time that's the picture.
That is the
shows
picture
up.
you see. Yeah.
And it's just a small portion of what's actually here.
This is what do you call it? The heating house or the boiler house? This thing that everybody films as powerhouse. Yeah. This thing that everybody films as the most iconic part of Boldt Castle was actually just his coal-fired powerhouse that created the electricity to run the castle. But funny, it seems to be the most pretty to look at, even though it was deliberately put out here, away from the main house, downwind, so they didn't have to smell the coal-fired boilers that would have been running in this. So we're going to get down there somehow. We're on this wall for some reason. There's all this outdoor sort of second floor decking.
Yeah, this was supposed to be the main entrance.
Yeah. So this would have been the main entrance had the stairway been completed before he stopped building. But it never was completed. Look at these. These must be original. They got the heart on it. Wow. This is impressive. Look at the ceiling. This is interesting. He didn't show us this area. It was an outdoor fireplace.
Oh, an outdoor party room.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's Janice. How are you enjoying the trip? The tour. Yeah. Very impressive. It still blows my mind that anybody would have such opulence and then not use this place and let it go derelict. So you can see through the trees there, that's our boat at the dock, right there. So there's some nice public docks, and then you get on the island, pay your fee, and either have a self-guided tour, just walk around, or pay an extra $10 to get an audio tour where you get headphones. Quite impressive.
Yeah, they can see this.
He was saying all of these flowers have been donated by a company. What's the name of the company there? Bell?
They're full of bees.
They plant them and take care of them all for free. Just to help this place.
They're vintage, like they're
Yeah.
heritage blooms.
Okay, so you really can't get in this building. It looks more like it's just space for the employees. I'm thinking there's like a toaster and a little coffee maker. It's a pretty cool looking building. This is the one everybody has pictures of because it's the castle-y looking thing right on the water. So you can see he built this right out in the water in like 1890 something. So that's a crazy bit of engineering. So they said when they took it over, the roof was gone because it had been neglected so long. So they had to rebuild these roofs, and they said it's, you know, they took some liberties, but it's pretty close to what it would have originally looked like. Okay, we've had a great time walking around the Boldt Castle property, and we've checked out the main floor.
Yeah.
And we checked out
Gardens,
the powerhouse
and the
behind me. Over there.
Outside buildings.
Yeah. Well, we haven't checked out the second floor, but we just wanted to say,
Bedrooms.
couldn't ask for a better day.
Yeah.
Perfectly blue skies, not a cloud in the sky. Well, barely a cloud in the sky. So it's awesome for taking video.
No. It's the best day we've had in a long time, like
Yeah.
since July.
Well, I wish it was warmer. So I'm still wearing a long sleeve shirt,
Yeah,
so you can see, but
that's better.
it's comfortable. And the sun makes it nice. So we're going to go check out the second floor, or whatever number of floors we can get up in this castle. And then we're going to go across to the boathouse, which is over there, the brown building. That's where the houseboat that we showed you at the Clayton
Antique Boat
Museum,
Museum.
Antique Boat Museum, yeah, that's where it was. And we saw the houseboat, and that houseboat was housed inside that building when it was left neglected and it sank. So that's the building that was designed to hold that houseboat. So we'll check out that later. Talk to you in a bit. So this is his suite, Janice. Pretty nice, but considering how grandiose this house is, it's not that big. And this is his wife's suite, Louise. His wife's suite was better. The way it was found, I guess. What do you think? This room's nice for you?
Yeah, I like it.
I can live with the other room over there. Oh, and this is the bathroom. Considering how obviously wealthy they were, I'm kind of surprised that their living accommodations were kind of, you know,
Yeah, it's just a normal tub.
normal sized bathroom. Nothing crazy. And this is somebody else's bedroom. I don't know whose this is. Clover. I guess is that a daughter? This is the daughter's bedroom. I guess the way they found it. This is the way they've restored it. Really nice. Clover's reception room. Is it? Maybe it's not a daughter.
Yeah, it's daughter.
Well, why does the daughter got a reception room?
Her friends.
For her friends. Oh, maybe.
Jack gets the library. She gets to hang out with her friends.
Yeah, this is a friend's hangout room, maybe. We're up another floor, and every floor we go up is a little less renovated than the floor beneath it. So, as you can see, there's like drywall over the doors. So obviously they haven't finished that area. Or that area, or that area. Or that area. So this is the way they kind of found the place.
Wellesley Island is huge.
Huge.
Hart Island is here.
And Hart is tiny. But Wellesley's where he's got a lot of his farmland. This place would have had, yeah, people graffitied back in the day. Dug there. He was saying that the tour boats before, when this was derelict, used to tell people, go ahead and scratch your name in, leave your lasting marks. They actually used to promote people scratching their names in the walls. That's pretty bad. We're on I don't know what level, and we're actually on the level where the stained glass dome is. I thought it was to the outside, but there's actually another roof up there. I guess that makes sense. You don't want like hail or something smashing through your stained glass. So it's just there for light. So these upper levels here don't really have any renovation done, but it's kind of neat to still be able to get up to them. And then there's some sort of outside balcony here. Yeah, you can see. These rooms were meant for something. This place was huge. The video we watched it has 127 rooms.
I don't want this to be my bedroom.
Yeah. Look at this view. There's a tour boat going by. Here comes another tour boat, smaller tour boat. This is the Thousand Islands. Okay, we've made it up to the top balcony. I don't think there's going to be any balconies above this one, but pretty sweet view of the Thousand Islands behind us there. So have you found it, Janice?
It's gorgeous.
It is amazing. It's like the best tours I've ever had.
I know.
There's still more. There's still a staircase going up to the top. I don't know what we're going to find up here, but let's go check it out. Okay, as we go higher, this is what it would have originally looked like when it was left derelict. Probably worse than this actually, but this is kind of showing you what all the graffiti that was everywhere. July 14th, 1957. Somebody else was here in 1964, 1968, 1976. Wow. Crazy. Craziness. Oh, we can't really get in there. Ooh. I can still stick my camera through.
So can I.
In your face, people. So we can see what it would have looked like. Watch me drop my camera. Ah. All right. So that's it. There's no more higher to go.
No. Damn it.
Their balcony, but that room over there was closed to us. We couldn't get out on that one. But still, so many rooms, so much beauty. This room, needless to say, has not been renovated. But the views from every room are just spectacular. There's the dock where our boat is, out there somewhere. And there's the boathouse across the way. This room is more like the way it was found when it was derelict. Floorboards are all like rotted out. This looks more original. I've been thinking, boy, these floorboards actually don't look too bad considering there was no roof on this place for a while, but nope. I'm guessing they've been fixed. There's Louise Boldt, who is the motivation for building this place. And this is the Boldt family crest. Somehow or other, we missed these rooms. So this is like the front, I guess. Oh, it says on the sign there. What does it say?
The reception room.
Oh, the reception room. Very impressive. Is that like a signed-in guest book type of thing? And then this is the billiards room. How did we miss these rooms? Nice. This would be quite the man cave. Got billiards here, and then you got these little high back chairs to watch people play. So cool. I want to be fabulously wealthy and have this kind of money. Janice is dancing to the music. That's the way the stairs were originally when they took the place over, but obviously it was meant to have these marble steps, so they've recreated them. It does look like something out of the Titanic movie. Okay, we're heading over to that boathouse. It's part of Boldt Castle. So this is the boathouse. It's a big ass house for just a boathouse. And there's the shuttle that we took to get here. Is impressive. I wonder if we're going to get to go up there. So this is the boathouse inside with all, I don't know if they're all his boats. I'm assuming they probably are, but or something similar. He had 60 boats supposedly. Reminds me a little bit of a small version of the Antique Boat Museum.
Yes.
But these doors open, they're huge. This one, the tallest one, is for a steamship that used to come in here. Oh, might be over there. And then there's another one that's super wide that was for the houseboat that we saw at the Antique Boat Museum. So the one that was in here was a sailing steamship. So we don't think this is it because that's not much of a sailing mast. But it would have been a steamship similar to this, and it fit in this. The doors fit exactly to the size of his boats. So you can see how tall these doors are. So they would have been designed to fit a boat, probably bigger than this boat here. Here's a photo of the houseboat that we were on at the Antique Boat Museum. Probably that's when it had a wood hull. And there's the tugboat that used to tow it because it didn't have an engine. He owned his own tugboat. He used to carry stone from a quarry 8 miles away to create Boldt Castle. And we found a photo of the actual steam sailing ship he had that used to go through the middle, biggest door. That's pretty impressive. And here it is again, showing how the door can open really high. Now we're going into the actual house.
About the boathouse or
Beside the boathouse, yeah. Oh, neat. Nice view.
This was lived in, I guess it's got more
Yeah, I don't know.
stuff going on.
I don't know how he needed so many different places to live so close together. He had 6 houses around here. This is just called the boathouse, and yet you'd be impressed to consider it your real house. That's very nice, eh? Nice room. Okay, so the boathouse property is huge, but only this small part over here was lived in by the caretaker of his fleet of boats. I'm sure they weren't all here, but at one point George Boldt owned 60 boats. So I'm sure this guy who lived here was constantly maintaining boats, and they just brought them here when they needed to be fixed. So that's the crew that used to work inside his yacht house. So obviously he kept a lot of people employed to keep care of all of his boats.
One after another.
There were 12 massive boathouses around
Just
here?
about, yeah.
So they're saying this is the one we're in now.
Yep.
And then this is Peacock,
The Peacock.
but it burned down, right?
It burned down.
And then
And
this
then
is,
the Rafferty.
It was
Rafferty.
dismantled for lack of use, he said.
so these all these multimillionaires beside each other with competing boathouses.
So we're leaving Boldt Castle. It's the end of the day. Mission accomplished, I think.
Beautiful day.
We had the best day today. It was awesome. We're leaving the island. There's the powerhouse. Beautiful with the sun on it.
So many pretty houses along this stretch of the river. They're so close to us. Shores on either side are just right beside the boat. That's the end of the episode. Hopefully you enjoyed the beauty of Boldt Castle as much as we did. If so, give the episode a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes, as the 2018 sailing season is just about to start. And we are partnering with the Thousand Island Tourism Council, so they're going to be able to guide us to the best activities, towns, islands, festivities, who knows what. And as we get it, we'll bring it to you. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. Of course, we want to throw a special shout out to the patrons that support the channel. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. You guys rock. And until next season, which should start really soon, this is Craig signing off, wishing you safe cruising.